You guys, I need to talk about The Real Love Boat. So if you'd like to hear what I have to say about this ship show, please keep watching. Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a splendid day, and if you're new here, welcome. So I am getting ready to go on a cruise. I leave in 4 days, and as many of you know, my channel is based around my personal travel experiences. And because I can't go on vacation all the time, sometimes in between trips, I do struggle with coming up with video content. And this was one of those times. I had a couple video ideas, but nothing I was really excited about. And then I saw the second episode of The Real Love Boat, and I was like, what the heck is going on? I need to talk to someone about this. So I decided I was going to talk to you. Before we dive in, please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it. And I'd also like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. I put out fresh content regularly, and I would absolutely love it if you would join my travel party. I am a big reality TV fan. I love a good guilty pleasure, and I was fortunate enough to get to go to the premiere party for The Real Love Boat in Hollywood, California, so I was super excited about this show. And 2 episodes into The Real Love Boat, I have to say this is a really strange show. Before we get into the first episode, I just want to say that I, of course, don't know any of these people personally. This is just a fun video where I am going to comment on the show. And when I'm commenting on the people, I am commenting on how they are portrayed or how they are portraying themselves. But again, this is just for fun, so please don't take anything I say too seriously. So let's start at the beginning, and I love how The Real Love Boat starts. It's an homage to the original Love Boat with the theme song and the pictures of all the cast members in circles. It's really, really cute. And in the beginning, they show the pictures of the singles who are on board and also of the 3 princess crew members who are on board. And these are actual princess crew members. Paulo is the captain, and one thing that I think is super cool is that he is the actual captain of the Regal Princess. And we also have Ezra, the bartender, and Matt, the cruise director. And their role on the show is to give the singles helpful advice, help them through their dating adventures, and also to stir the pot a little bit once in a while. Now, weirdly, the premise of this show is supposedly to help singles find true love. But there is also a cash prize at the end, $50,000, and a luxury princess cruise for 2. So already you can see that's going to be a little bit difficult because some cast members are going to be actually really looking for romance while others are just going to want to stay on the free cruise and get the money. So episode 1 starts and we meet the singles. First, we have Alisa. She is 24 and she is looking for a Greek god. Then we have Brett. He is 36 and he is a footwear designer. And I have to say that he just seems really nice and very down to earth. And on the first 2 episodes, he was definitely one of my favorite cast members. Then we have Brooke. She's 34. She's not catty. She's competitive and she wants you to know that. Also, glitter is her thing. Then we have Daniel. He's 25. He is probably my favorite cast member. He is hilarious. And he is a coach for a youth basketball team. And hopefully there will be someone on board who shares his passion for basketball. Then we have Shaylin. She's 29 and she is a sports radio host. Then we have Jordan, and he is definitely portrayed on the show as a player. He had his heart broken when he was a teenager, so to cope, he got lots of tattoos. He says he's never had a problem dating pretty girls. He just has a problem keeping them. Then we have Nicole, and coincidentally, she just happens to love a man with lots of tattoos. And fortunately, there's one on board. Then we have Emily from Wisconsin. She's 24 and she has been searching for love so long, you guys. She's been single for 7 years, so I guess since she was 17. And she likes to say, oh geez, a lot. Oh geez. And also we find out on the first episode that she's a virgin. She says she wants a man with blue eyes. Well, guess what? There's only one on the cast. And that blue-eyed hunk is Marty. He is 33 and he is from North Carolina. And lastly, we have Michael. He is 35 and he is from New York. So after we meet the 10 singles, the 5 men and the 5 women, there's a pool party, and that's when we meet the hosts, real-life married couple Rebecca Romaine and Jerry O'Connell. And they explain to everyone that at every port, new singles will get on, and those who have not made connections will get left at the port. And then they announce that there's going to be an icebreaker. So in this icebreaker, everyone gets to get up for a minute or two, and they get to, according to Rebecca Romaine, flaunt their personality and their body. Yes, she actually said that. So the icebreaker starts with Brett, and he mysteriously happens to find a cowboy hat on deck, and he gets up and he sings a very sweet country song. He does seem like a nice guy. Next up is Nicole, and she is evidently a bodybuilder, so she bench presses Brooke as her talent. Yes, she bench presses another contestant. Next up is Michael, and Michael, in his interview, he announces that he is a self-proclaimed recovered womanizer, gaslighter, manipulator. He just sounds like a very, very interesting guy. But he's been to therapy, guys, and he is cured, and he's been working on himself, and he's ready to find true love. And as part of his therapy, he has been journaling. So he wrote a special poem for the icebreaker. Are you ready for it? Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm here to find love, and I hope you are too. His first grade teacher must be very proud. This is where Daniel has a great one-liner. Like I said, he is definitely providing great comedy relief. And he cleverly says, Michael needs a couple life jackets because his ship is sinking. Just when you thought things couldn't get any more cringy, Brooke gets up and announces that she's a dolphin whisperer and starts clicking like a dolphin. Then it's Marty's turn, and he also goes the poetry route, which I think is a really, really good call because after Michael, anything is going to sound great. And while he's reciting his poem, Emily is gazing at him adoringly. I actually think she got tears in her eyes. Daniel breakdances, and then it's Shaylin's turn. And remember how I said that Daniel is a youth basketball coach? Well, guess what? Danielle has been playing basketball since 6th grade, so she shows off some of her moves with the b-ball, and I think it's love at first sight. Emily's icebreaker is just standing up and telling everyone that she's a nurse and she knows CPR. This gets Jordan very, very excited. He starts waving his hands and proclaiming that he is having cardiac arrest. This upsets Marty, and he says that he is ready to fight for Emily, who he met 5 minutes ago. Alisa, for her icebreaker, does some pretty impressive Pilates moves. And after everyone has shown off their personality and their body, they vote for who they think made the best impression, and Alisa wins. So as a prize, she gets to pick whichever single man she wants to go to the captain's table. Personally, I'd pick Captain Paolo, but she picks Michael. As the winner, Alisa also gets to pick first when they select the men that they want to keep on the ship. But before Alisa picks Michael, there is a twist. Rebecca tells her that she can pick any of the current men to have dinner with, or she can select from 2 new men. Alisa gets so excited she spills champagne on herself. So the 2 new men arrive, and we have Nathan, who's 24, a self-proclaimed jock who's never been in love before, and also Forrest. Forrest is 30 years old, and he is from Houston, Texas. Alisa is definitely interested in Nathan. Her eyes light up, but she goes with her first impression, as I said, and she picks Michael, the ex-narcissist manipulator. Then the singles go to a cocktail party, and that's when Ted Lang shows up. Isaac! It was really, really good to see him. So the cocktail party continues, and you can see the couples start to pair up. Brett shows Brooke how to do the 2-step, and they seem to have a lot of chemistry. Marty and Emily bond over the fact that they both want to have 2 or 3 kids, and this revelation gives them butterflies and goosebumps. Marty tells Emily that he's going to do something he's been wanting to do all afternoon, and Emily replies with, "Oh geez," and then he goes in for the kiss. And then at some point, we see the captain's dinner. And one thing with the show is, I will say, the editing is pretty sloppy. They have a hard time of helping viewers keep track of time, like what's happening when. And I was actually very, very surprised by this, because one thing that CBS knows is good editing. I mean, they do Survivor and The Amazing Race. They've won tons of Emmys for reality TV. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I'm just going to chalk it up to a lot happened in the first episode. So maybe they were just having trouble showing everything. So Alisa and Michael are at the captain's table, and Captain Paolo comes out and he gives them some great advice, like, let love guide you and follow your heart. So then Alisa and Michael start sharing, and Alisa asked Michael what his biggest fear is. And he says regret. And Alisa acts like she has never heard anything so deep in her life. It's not Maya Angelou. Calm down. And then she, in turn, tells Michael that her biggest fear is ants. You can't make this up. And then the three crew members get together and they basically gossip about the singles, and they play a little matchmaker, like who has something in common, maybe they can mix things up a little bit. So they decide to send Alisa and Nathan on a hot tub date, because they saw how Alisa literally, her jaw dropped when she saw Nathan. And when Nathan takes his shirt off, Alisa is obviously very titillated. She says, oh my gosh, he looks just like a Greek god. And remember, that was her requirement. And then she says, oh, he has chiseled muscles. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Not honesty, not sense of humor, not loyalty, not intelligence, chiseled muscles. Alisa asks Nathan what he's looking for in a woman, and he, honest to God, says, a big butt. He is literally the gift that just keeps giving. He then tells Alisa that his brother is the smart one and that he is a dumb athletic jock. His words, not mine. Alisa then looks into the camera and says, he is exactly what I'm looking for. So then we go to the sail away party, and this is where the women are going to pick the men, and the men who aren't chosen have to get off the ship. By the way, I have seen criticism that this show is just one big commercial for Princess, and I can definitely see that point, but I will tell you, if this is a commercial for Princess, it's a good one, because the ship looks absolutely amazing. And I love the fact that this ship is going on the exact same itinerary that Princess cruisers go on. And I will tell you, it really makes me want to go on a Princess cruise in the Mediterranean. Rebecca and Jerry are mildly amusing hosts, and they do use a lot of ship humor. So Rebecca starts the sail away with, this is where the seas get rough. And then each one of the men gets to plead their case on why they should stay. When Michael pleads his case, he says, I have butterflies all over my body, as he stares longingly at Emily. Those two. So Alisa is going to pick first, and it's obviously going to be between Michael, who she had the date with at the captain's table, and Nathan, who has the chiseled muscles. And she says, well, I have a connection with one mentally, a very strong mental connection, but I also have a very strong physical connection with another man. So she does the smart thing and picks Nathan, the one she has the physical attraction to, because she's looking for true love. Then there are 4 women left to choose their partner for this episode, and Jerry uses bingo balls to pick the lady who is going to get to choose next. There's only 4 of them, and he's got a ton of bingo balls, so I don't know what happens if the same name keeps coming out over and over again. I guess bingo is supposed to relate to bingo on a ship, but it's just unnecessary. Sherilyn picks Daniel, and I understand that because they really did seem to hit it off during the cocktail party. But this makes Nicole very unhappy, because although she does have a connection with bad boy tattoo Jordan, she also has a crush on Daniel. Brooke picks Brett, no surprise there. And of course, Emily picks Marty because he's got dreamy blue eyes. But Nicole has to pick, and she has to choose between bad boy Jordan, reformed horrible boyfriend Michael, and newcomer Forrest, and she picks Jordan. But I have to say, Forrest gives her the perviest wink while she's deciding, but in the end, he and Michael are left at the port, and that was the end of episode 1. So my thoughts on episode 1 is that they didn't give us enough time to really get to know the singles. They tried to cram too much into the first episode. And the editing was a little bit wonky, but it was the first episode. It's a new show, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. But can we look at the initial romantic pairings? Do you notice anything weird? My teenage daughter said it best. She said, "Mom, why do they all look like brother and sister?" And I have to admit, it's a little strange. My daughter also had a great comment at the end of episode 1. I said, "Do you think it's a good show?" And she said, "No." And I said, "Do you want to watch the next episode?" And she said, "Yes." So that's a sign of a good guilty pleasure. I probably got a couple names wrong when I was talking about the first episode, and I apologize. There are just a lot of different players, and I'm trying to keep them all straight. But I just took a break and watched the second episode again, so I think I've got them all straight, but just bear with me if I do make a mistake. So episode 2 starts with Captain Paolo saying that they are about to dock in Gibraltar. And this is what I wanted from the real Love Boat, and that is amazing travel footage, and it looks awesome. Oh, and by the way, Gibraltar has monkeys, and I love monkeys, so I definitely want to go visit. Now, in this episode, the men are in power because the women were in power on episode 1. So that means that the men get to decide which women are going to stay. And this is also the first couples challenge. Rebecca and Jerry welcome all the couples to the Rock of Gibraltar, and Rebecca tells them that this is one of the world's most famous rocks. The challenge involves learning more about your partner, and the couples have to run to the top of the Rock of Gibraltar. It's about 600 steps, and it's about 780 feet straight up. It looks like quite a grueling climb. Along the way, there are 3 stations, and the couples have to stop and answer questions. Each answer is a number, and these numbers will open a lockbox at the top of the rock, and whichever couple opens their lockbox first wins. I thought this was super smart of production because what they did is the singles, before they got on board, they answered all kinds of questions about their romantic past. So the answers to the questions are the ones that they gave to production before they even got on board. So they had to give the same answer in order to get the combination to open the lockbox. Now, the winners not only get to go to the captain's table, but they also get the keys to the Love Boat suite where they can choose to stay together and have a romantic evening. And remember, men are in control this episode, so whichever man does win with his partner, he gets to pick first at the sail away ceremony. Rebecca tells the couples, on your marks, get set, get cruising. And I think it would be a fun drinking game to take a drink every single time Jerry and Rebecca make a silly seafaring joke. So Shaylin and Daniel are paired up, and one of Shaylin's first questions that she has to answer is, how many threesomes have you had? And she answers 1. Daniel wonders whether it was 2 men or 2 women, because according to him, there's a big difference. Player Tattoo Jordan has to answer how many times he's cheated on a partner. And when Nicole asks him this, he literally acts like he doesn't understand English, and she has to hand him the card so that he can read it. He finally answers 4. As a reminder, Jordan is the one who says he has no problem dating pretty girls. He has problems keeping them, probably because girls don't like to be cheated on. Shaylin is also asked, how many times have you kissed on the first date? And her answer is 25. Daniel likes this answer because it means she's not that picky, so she'll probably be okay kissing him because he really loves her lips. He says they are calling his name, Daniel, Daniel. Alisa is paired up with Jock Nathan, and she is asked how many times she's cheated on a partner, and she says once, and this does not go well with Jock Nathan. Brett and Brooke are teamed up, and Brett is 36 years old, remember, and he's asked how many sex partners he's had, and his answer is 5. And this makes Brooke wonder if maybe he's a priest. I don't think that's how that works. Brett is also asked when he lost his virginity, and he says 24, and this really concerns Brooke because she's wondering if he has enough practice. Jock Nathan is then asked how many sex partners he's had, and he says 26. Afterwards, in his interview, he said he wanted to win the game, so he's not going to lie to Alisa right now. Ever. Nathan actually said that. He's awesome. Brett and Brooke end up winning. They are the oldest couple, and they did great, and they really showed those 20-somethings. The couples then head back to the Regal Princess for a cocktail party and to discuss the challenge. Nicole is not happy that Jordan has cheated 4 times, so Daniel is beginning to look better and better to her. But unfortunately for her, he seems really into Shaylin. Nathan is also upset that Alisa has cheated, and he's not going to lie to her, not right now. So when she asks him what he's looking for in a partner, except for a big butt, he says, not a cheater. You guys, Nathan has morals. Jerry and Rebecca then introduce newcomer Kendra to the group. She's 26 and she likes bad boys. Nicole knows she's in trouble because Jordan likes blondes and he also has a very short attention span. So things aren't looking too good for Nicole. With the arrival of Kendra, one woman will be left at port. So Jerry and Rebecca tell them all to have a good time at the cocktail party and drink each other in. These one-liners. Then we go to the captain's table with Brett and Brooke, who won the challenge. And Captain Paolo comes out and gives them some more great advice. Be true to yourself. And then he leaves the couple alone. Brett tells Brooke that he thinks it's too soon for them to go to the couple suite, but that he's going to have a very, very easy decision choosing the next day at the sail-away party. And Brooke thinks she might finally have met her Prince Charming. These two do seem cute together. Again, with the weird editing, then we go back to the cocktail party. Kendra gets one-on-one mini dates with bad boy Jordan and jock Nathan. When she's with Nathan, he tells her he's a big foodie, and she asks, oh, really? Well, what are some of your favorite dishes? And his answer is pizza and chicken wings. Nicole sees Jordan with Kendra, and she knows she's in trouble, so she makes a beeline for Daniel. She's definitely flirting and letting him know that she is interested. She tells him that he has always been her number one, but I don't think Shaylin has anything to worry about. He seems really into her. Cruise director Matt takes Daniel aside to see where his head's at since he has to decide between Shaylin and Nicole. And Daniel tells him that based on looks, he'd go for Nicole, but personality-wise, he likes Shaylin. At this point, I looked at my husband and I said if he ever said that about me, that based on personality, he'd pick me, but on looks someone else, I would punch him. The crew then meets again to gossip about the singles and to stir the pot to see if there might be better connections made. They send Shaylin and jock Nathan to a basketball date because they're both sporty. While they're there, Shaylin asks Nathan who he has his eye on, and he can't remember the new girl's name. He likes her, but he literally has zero idea what her name is. Daniel and Nicole go on a hot tub date where she again reiterates that he's her number one. And newcomer Kendra and player Jordan have a spa date in a cabana. We then see the women getting ready for the sail-away party, and they're nervous because they know they are on the chopping block. Then unexpectedly, bartender Ezra comes in and says that Brett has left the show because he is unwell. And that's all she says. He's left because he is unwell, and we never find out what the heck happened to Brett. It was just a little strange that there was absolutely no explanation. Brooke's reaction is that she's going to throw up because she knows that she's probably going to be left at the port. She doesn't even ask about Brett. She's not concerned about him at all. She's just concerned she might have to get off the ship. So then we're at the sail-away ceremony where Rebecca says the seas are about to get choppy. Two women are at risk because Brett has left the game, and since Brett is gone, he doesn't get to pick first. So Jerry uses the bingo balls. Marty picks first, and he chooses Emily, and you might have noticed I haven't even mentioned them for the second episode because I have nothing interesting to say about them. Daniel goes next, and to Nicole's dismay, he picks Shaylin. Even though he doesn't think she's as attractive as Nicole, he tells her that her smile makes him want to take care of her, and I thought that was sweet. Jock Nathan goes next, and he picks Alisa, his original partner. I thought that was sweet because although he was not okay with the fact that she cheated once, and by the way, she did say it was just making out with somebody, he does pick her, and he says he wants to get to know her better. Jordan is next, and he picks newcomer Kendra, even though Nicole saved him last time. He says he likes Nicole even more after the challenge, but Kendra's gorgeous, so he has to pick her. He feels bad, but he says he needs to be selfish and focus on his own happiness. So that leaves Brooke and Nicole all alone. But wait, there's a twist. Because Brett left, they are bringing a new man on board, and Jerry says that they're going to throw the two women a life preserver. So then we get to meet Dean. Oh, Dean, he's a model. He's in his mid-20s, and he says that when women find out that he's a model, they don't think that he has much substance. Where do they find these people? Dean says he's looking for a woman who is exactly like him, but not quite. The two women who are left get 30 seconds each to tell Dean about themselves and why he should pick them. For a show that's about finding true connections, you'd think they'd give them a little bit more time. This show is just weird. But Dean has to make a decision between Brooke and Nicole, and he picks Nicole. And when asked why he picked her, he says because he likes her dress. When Brooke heard that, I think she was glad to get off the ship. Brooke is left at the port, and she does say that she hopes to connect with Brett in the real world, and I hope that they do. They did seem like a cute couple. So that's my recap of the first two episodes. I hope you enjoyed it. This is just a fun video where I wanted to discuss this show because I have very mixed feelings about it. I love the destination footage. The ship is gorgeous. The challenge was really fun this week, but I'm just not sure what the point of this show actually is. I think the editing is a little strange, at least for the first two episodes, but I'm going to keep watching. Also, I have to say that my husband is really enjoying the show, and he laughed out loud several times during the episodes. So if you are looking for something lighthearted, nothing too heavy, nothing too serious, just a silly show with great scenery, I would say give it a try. If you've watched The Real Love Boat, please leave a comment below and share your thoughts. I am dying to hear them. And that's all I have for you today. My next videos will be cruise related. This was just kind of a one-off video. I don't think I'm going to do it again unless you'd like me to. And if so, let me know because I'd be happy to do it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, I hope you have happy and safe travels. I appreciate you and thank you so much for watching. Bye.